What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you guys are all looking to finish out the rest of this year very strong. Time's moving by. It's about to be November, and soon it's gonna be December, then 2025. But I have a question, couple of questions for you, actually. It's very simple. What is your goal? What are you hoping to achieve? What is your aspiration? What is your purpose? I think a lot. I'm always a thinker. I've always been a thinker. Thinking is what I do. And sometimes that can be a detriment because I think too much and then it leads to anxiety, get these thoughts in my head, and I start to operate and move a certain way based on what I think something is or how things move out to be or seem to be, rather. So I'm just asking this question. Hopefully you can answer it to yourself or you can answer it to me or whatever. But I'm asking because I know a lot of people. Met a lot of people, worked with a lot of people, talked with many people. And I just wonder sometimes, what do you want? What is your purpose? What is your goal? What is your mission? What are you hoping to achieve? Now, we all have goals, whether it's a short term goal, a long term goal, goals, or goals. Point A to point B, or maybe point A to D, or A to Z, whatever it is. I've talked about goals all the way back in 2021. I talked about that and also consistency. So I'm not going to go into what that is, but I'm still hoping that somebody can answer this question for me. What do you want? Now, this can be philosophical or it can just be in the affirmative. But having a want or a need helps to push you along. Like, I know what I want. I want to be the best that I can be. I want to change the world. I want to save it. It might sound like, oh, a superhero type ish, but I'm being factual. I'm being honest. I've always had that in my heart for as long as I can live or even breathe. I've always wanted to change and be myself and for people to like me and to see my worth. But sometimes we go through life, we meet certain people, and they start to make you reevaluate, start to make you think about whether or not this path that you're on is the right path. It's a path that is difficult. Who I am as a person, being a believer in God, a follower of Christ, and I use the word Christian loosely because there's so many denominations and there's different theologies and all those things, but just believing in God and following Christ is my core. It's who I am. And being a little bit spiritual, being a little bit biblical, the golden rule is treat others the way that you would like to be treated. Golden rule. Do to others as you would like them to do unto you. Right? So while I'm moving through life, doing different things, I operate on that standard. Now, people can say, oh, you're being nice, right? I'm not a nice person. I'm a kind person. And it's sad that you have to separate the two. Nice has this negative connotation, right? But the denotation being from the dictionary is pleasant, sweet, right? So the connotation that people see for nice is weak, a pushover. And that's not what that is. And it's sad that we've turned this word around, and when people are being nice, people are being generous, when people are being kind, when people are being benevolent, it's a sign of weakness. There's a very powerful word I'm going to say next, and this is the overarching word that can give the nice, I'll say, base to it, and that's mercy. I'm merciful because there's times where I can really shut shit down. I can show my teeth. I can be a wolf. I can be an animal, but I'm showing grace and mercy. Being a follower of Christ, being a follower and believing in God, that's what we have to do. We have to be kind to one another, show mercy, show grace, and God gives that to us. Mercy and grace. Can you imagine if God really wants to snap like how he really wants to snap? We'll be fucked up. Even Jesus, as gentle and pacifist as you think he was, Jesus was a gangster. Yeah, he was no one to mess with, and he showed anger. In the Bible, when he went to visit the temple and the people were playing and collecting money, oh, he fucked that shit up. Took a bullwhip, chased them out. Somebody who performed miracles and says you live by the sword, you die by the sword, showed anger, showed rage, showed passion for what he cared about. And that was the love and respect for God. So even though he showed mercy to others, there's times where he had to turn up and let you know, I'm not the one to mess with. And he had so much mercy because when he was being crucified, right? Jesus could have called down a legion of angels and raised hell. He could have defended himself, but he chose not to because he had to fulfill his mission and his purpose. Sacrificed himself, died. I mean, I don't know who would do this today. With all of our egos, all of our personalities, I don't think anybody would want to die for another. Other than maybe your wife, your child, your mother, your siblings. That's the only immediate family that I can think about that somebody is willing to die for another. Now, unless you're in a profession like a soldier or a police officer, a firefighter, that's the other case. But in terms of that, just out of free will, out of just volition of your own, willing to die for somebody, I don't know. And I say all this to say, I don't know where that fly came from. It's crazy. I say all this to say is that who I am as a person, as much as people want me to change, as much as people want me to be nasty, to be heartless, to be cold, I'm trying my hardest not to snap. I'm trying my hardest not to crash out. I'm trying very hard to maintain who I am. And I believe that this is a test. I believe that this is a test to see if I'm really about it. If I'm really about being a person of love, of care. If I'm really about who I say I want to be. a muse, a influence, a role model. Taking the higher ground is not easy. It's difficult. When people cross you, when people betray you, when people spit in your face, when people talk about you, it hurts you on the inside. Your pride is wounded. Because you want to just go up there and just slap the shit out of somebody, right? But you can't do that. You got to stay true to who you are and don't allow these people to get you off your horse. Every day is a battle. I slip up every day. When I get angry and I get upset and I feel it on the inside, I have to say, you know what? It's not worth it. Because the thoughts in my head, like I said earlier, there's some violent thoughts. When I was a kid, I used to fight a lot. Got suspended, doing all that. But something changed in me. I said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And I've had this sense of peace over me. The last time I've actually gotten into a scuffle was 18 years ago. Yeah, 2006. Fought my best friend. Punched me on the mouth. I was bleeding. We fought. That was the last time. The last physical scuffle I got into where somebody put their hands on me was 9 years ago. June 2015. I was coming home from the park, and these group of teenagers circled me, ganged up on me, robbed me, knocked me out unconscious. Sad. So, as much as I want to crash out, as much as I want to get my lick back, because it's been so long ago, even like it happening in the moment, I felt rage, I felt anger. I'm like, yo, I want to like get a weapon and fuck these niggas up, shoot them, you know what I'm saying? But then what that solve? Yeah, I'll feel good for like 5 minutes that I, got my lick back, I got my revenge. But now I'm gonna go to jail for murder. So you gotta let shit go. Not easy at all. It's very hard. It's very difficult. But eventually you'll get a peace of mind that you say, that person was just not worth the hassle, not worth the struggle, and you let that go. Let them move on from your life and you just erase it. And sometimes these people, they hurt you so bad that it lingers in your heart. You may forget it, you may move on, but you have your scars. You have things that still show up on your body, still show up on your soul. That's why I believe nobody is ever random and everything happens for a reason. I think about it, well, at that time going back, 2015, when I got jumped, it was once in a blue moon occurrence. It's just like wrong place, wrong time, but it's like, why did it need to happen? I wasn't gonna be back in that part of town anymore. I was just cutting through. So it was just, why did it have to happen? I thought, why me? I didn't bother nobody. I didn't do anything. I just tried to live my life, tried to, you know, do the bare minimum. But evil still catches up with you. Just because you're a good, righteous person doesn't mean that evil is gonna escape you. No, evil is around everywhere. We're all living in sin. We're all living in this world of damnation and corruption. So, as pitiful, as sad as that was, had PTSD for like a moment or two, a month, and I got over it. But even now, there's still something in my head to be like cautiously, okay, don't be out too late. Oh, don't, you see a group of niggas walking around, go the other way. maybe that's what it needed to happen for me to be aware of my surroundings, which I was, but nevertheless, it's crazy how these things happen to you. So these scars that they leave on you, these marks, let it be a reminder. As ugly as it may be, as distasteful as it may look, it's a part of your life. It made you and it shaped you to who you are today. All the heartbreak, all the betrayal, all of that is building you up to where you need to be. And they say sometimes when things just don't seem to be going right in your life and you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, you haven't learned your lesson. So if there's something that is happening in this time that you're supposed to learn so you can move on. You keep failing the test. Life keeps giving you the same test over and over and over. Open book. You have all the notes. You have all the answers that you need. But yet you keep failing it because you're not learning. You're not seeing what you need to be seeing. I'm not exempt from that. I've been repeating the same nonsense with my film career. It's like every year it gets a little bit more better, but it continues to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. So I'm just like, well, why the fuck does this shit happen to me? Why is it continuing to happen? Oh, what am I not seeing? Well, what am I not learning? What do I have to change about me? What do I need to change about my approach? How do I need to engage with these people? Because if I don't change anything, if I don't adapt, I'm gonna continue to lose. I'm gonna continue to get hurt. I'm gonna continue to get frustrated. And you don't want that. So I'm still on my path, still living my life, and I'm still trying my best to learn what I need to learn. Because things have not gotten better. You know, I sought out at the beginning of this year positivity, still positive, but and then during the summertime, I got hit with a bombshell where a lead actress dropped out, devastated me. Still left a scar to this day. I'm still not over it because it's a detriment because I was so close to finishing it and it just hit me like a brick. But you got to move on. So even though I'm not highly upset about it, there's still a bad taste in my mouth. There's still a lingering feeling of what it could have been. It's a scar. So I'm using that scar as a reminder, not so much to not trust again, not to do anything again, because that's easy. Giving up is easy. Continuing is hard. Getting knocked down and getting up, that's the real battle. Because staying down is the easiest thing to do. You stay down, you don't continue to get hit. Hopefully. When you get up, it means that you're ready for more. It means that you're ready to take on what's next. So I'm ready. I'm prepared. Learned my lesson. Saw what I needed to see. Experienced what I needed to experience. And now it's time for me to move on to a new version of myself. Because I have a mission. As I said, it's to change the world. It's to be an influence. It's to be a muse. It's to be a role model. So I can't stop what I have to do. I can't quit. I have to keep going. It's the only way. These stories need to be told. Because I thought about it. I'm like, okay, well, if I don't become a filmmaker anymore and I just keep these stories to myself, I'll enjoy it, but the world won't get a chance to see what I have to offer. I used to make music years ago. Stop making music publicly and now put my music into my movies. I wanted to be a mainstream artist so bad for like a good 6 years. I've been trying to push that out. I just had to stop. So you know what? This is not working. So I need to reevaluate myself. I need to see what approach can I take next. Now, is it working in terms of putting my music in movies and people watching it? Yeah, but you know that's a slow little burn. That's a slow little roast in terms of people enjoying it. You know, so slow cooker, pressure cooker, if you want to say that. You know, the meat isn't tender yet, but it's gonna get there. So adapting, changing myself, looking around my surroundings, knowing what I have to do next is critical and is key. Failing is okay. Some people are so afraid of failing, but me, I'm not afraid of failing. Because I know that if I failed, I tried. I know that I gave it a shot. It can't ever be, oh, I wonder what if. I know what it was. I did it, didn't work out, or I did it and it worked out. Okay, cool. On to the next thing. So, again, in closing, I ask you, what do you want? What's your purpose? What is your goals, your aspiration? And I'll add one more. Who are you? Because you have these goals, you have these aspirations, but who are you? Are you the person that you are right now to reach it? Or do you need to evolve? Do you need to be put through the ringer to become the final version of you? The final draft? You're in the beta stage right now, right? Prototype. When are you going to become an alpha? When are you going to become the last version of where you need to be? Probably until you die. See, that's the funny thing too. We don't become who we really need to become until the end of our life. And even then, people still feel unaccomplished. So I know that I want to become a muse, right? I want to become an influence. I want to become a role model. So I know that I need to leave back a legacy. So all the lives that I've touched, what are they going to say about me in the end? When it's all said and done, what are they going to say about Joshua B. Alexander? What are they going to say? Are they going to say he was a hero? He was an influence? He was a person of integrity? Was he a role model? Was he a person that I trusted? Was it a person that I believed in? Was it a person that I loved dearly? Was Joshua a person that you can count on? Was Joshua a person that you knew in your heart that he was smart, wise, caring, loving? Or are you going to say Joshua was an asshole? Joshua was a monster. Joshua was this force of nature that I could not stand. Was Joshua your enemy? All of those questions, right, I just said about myself, have different relationships of me, have different ideas of who I am. So at the end of the day, what I've chosen to do, how I've chosen or chose to act at that time, was based on the circumstances of what I felt, or what I was going through, or what was happening in that circumstance. Did I choose to show mercy? Did I choose to give somebody grace when they dropped out of project? when they didn't show up on set, when they broke something, when they punched me in the face, when he stabbed me, when he touched me inappropriately? Did I rage out? Did I hit them back? Did I snap? Did I try to get even? It's very funny how everyone has their own perception of who you are. And I'm here to tell you that none of that even matters. There's only one version of you that matters. And that's the version that you see yourself as. That's the picture that you paint. I'm not one for political, right? People are divided between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, right? Kamala Harris. I know you're something gonna be like, oh my god, that name. Kamala Harris, right? Say what you want about Trump, but Trump has a version of Trump. Y'all call him a racist. Y'all call him a bigot. You call him a fool. But Trump knows who Trump is. Trump is probably playing a role. Because it's funny how 20 years ago, before he started running for president, everybody was cool with Trump. But now that he's running for president, you get these ideas and these thoughts. Of course, people change and they evolve. But it's funny how now he's enemy number one, the menace of the world, right? But if you think about Kamala, right? She's a liar. She's the next person of the free world, right? The next first black woman president. Whether you think she's black or not, she's Indian, white, whatever, right? There's a version of Kamala that she knows that she has to accept at the end of the day when she goes to sleep. So, despite our own opinions and our own comments and our own version of what we believe, the version that they know is true to them and what they want to perceive to you. I'm a very unique person. I treat everybody the same way until you show me that I should not. The way I speak to kids is the same way I speak to my mother, to my father when he was alive, my brother, my boss, my friends, and my enemies. I firmly believe that I have no enemies because if you're beefing with me, you're beefing with yourself because I'm not thinking about you in that way. Even the people that jumped me years ago, not my enemy. It was a come and gone experience. Traumatic, but I'm not looking for them to do vengeance. I'm not looking to get even. People drop out my parties. I don't hate you. I've moved on. I don't even think about you anymore. Even though I may talk about the situation, doesn't mean that I'm talking about you specifically. Because like I said, you're part of my life. Because we've interacted with one another, I can't forget you. As much as I want to erase you, as much as I want to just forget that you existed, I cannot. Because you've made an imprint in my life. You've made an impression that is there. Even when you're on the bus or you're on the train and you maybe sit next to somebody. That person is burnt into your mind, your image. You look at them for a few seconds, you already know that when you see them again, you say, oh, that's that person that, I sat next to on the train on Tuesday. So even though it might just be meaningless, it might just be nothing at the end of the day, they still made an impression in your life, and we're always recording, we're always taking in images until we die. So these people that I want to forget, these people that I hope that I never see again, we may cross paths. And it's happened before. People that I've fallen out of friendships with, that I don't fuck with anymore, right? It's been 3, 4 years. I see them, hey, how you doing? act like nothing happened, right? Because I've moved on. There is no resentment in my heart. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, this person's full of shit. I'm not going to fall for the same thing twice, but I'm going to treat you with care, respect, and dignity. So again, you're not my op. You're not my enemy. I may not like you. I may not want to work with you again, but I have no ill will. I don't wish you to die. I don't wish you to get sick. I wish nothing. I just wish that things could have been better. I wish that it didn't have to get to that point, but it is what it is. So, no malice, not being malicious, not being vengeful, because that's for the Lord. Karma is going to get you back. I don't have to clap back at you. Life is going to spin around and do the same shit that you did to me to you. Eventually. It might take a few days, might take an hour, it might take 50 years. But it's going to come back to you. So, when you do what you do, it's being recorded. And the universe will have its way. Eventually. At some point, sometime. So just be careful as to what you do to people, how you treat them, how you interact, right? It may not even be in a bad way. You might have kids, and the way that you treated somebody is how your kid is going to treat you. That's how things work. What goes around comes around. So that's just how we exist in this world. And so again, I'm going to close because I've been talking for a minute, but I just want to paint this picture to you. I just want you to understand that everything we do in life is being documented. Every interaction, every thought, every feeling is being recorded. And everyone will have their day. At the end of your life, you're going to have to face up for what you did, what you didn't do. All the feelings, all the thoughts, everything's going to come back to you eventually. And what can you say? Can you say you've lived a life fulfilled? Can you say you've been a person that was decent, that you've treated people with the utmost respect? Can you say that you've been the best that you could have been? Did you accomplish all your goals? Did you get what you wanted out of life? Did you become who you needed to become? I hope so. I hope that you did everything that you needed to do. Because I know I'm not leaving this earth until I accomplish my mission and my dream. Until my stories are transcending generations, that are lasting the test of time. I won't be satisfied until I am what I need to be to make a difference. I won't be satisfied until I'm loved, respected, have a family, successful. And success is very vague, that could be anything. But I want to be rich in spirit. Yeah, money is important, but I want to be successful to the point where I know that the person that I've become is who I needed to be. The person I'm evolved into, I morphed into, is the final version of me that needed to do what it needed to do to touch people's lives, to change people's lives. And I'm slowly becoming everything that I've ever thought, right? Remember when I was in ninth grade, I'm like, oh, one day I want to have long hair. Look at me now, bitch. Look at me now. Thick ass locks. Thick like wool. Slowly becoming that. Like, oh, I can't wait to have a beard. It's coming in, baby. Oh, I can't wait till this beard becomes full. If you think I'm attractive now, just wait. Can't wait until I put on a few extra pounds. Can't wait for Super Saiyan Summer, baby. Ooh. I can't wait. I can't wait until I'm fulfilled. And it's slowly getting there. Older I get, the more I cross off things off my list as to what I want to do, where I want to be in life. And so again, I thank you. Just like I said at the beginning of the year, I thank everybody that has ever come into my life, whether you were good or bad, because you taught me something. You taught me that life keeps going on. Despite the death, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the pain, the traumas that I've endured, I'm still here. I didn't die. I'm still breathing. So because I'm still breathing, I have to continue going on. Because I'm here right now talking to you, tomorrow is another day for me to try to reach my goal. Tomorrow is another day for me to become better than I was yesterday. So that's what I want to do. That's where I want to be. At the end of my life, I want to be the final version of me, the alpha, or the omega, the end. But it's a process. And, I said jokingly, sometimes I wish that this is the part that I can skip, but skipping it, I won't get all the details. I won't know what was the in between. I wouldn't know what it had to be from point A to point J or K. Right now, I'm in the middle of my life. I'm 31. I wonder what 32 Joshua is going to be. I wonder what 33, 34, 35. I wonder what 50-year-old Joshua is going to look like and how he's going to think and how he's going to react. That's what I want to get to. I want to get to 113. That's how long I want to live. So I got to keep going. I got to keep going. And I hope that you keep going too. Because life, everything's not random and we're all in this together. So as much as we would like to say, oh, I'm all alone and nobody's my friend and I have no help, I have no support, that is false. All you have to do is reach out and grab somebody, talk to somebody, be willing to assist somebody. I picked the path of filmmaking because it's a collaborative effort. You can't do this shit alone. As much as I do a lot by myself, it's wrong. I am the anomaly. I'm the glitch. Nobody should be director, cinematographer, producer, editor. Those things is one job. On a professional set, that's one person. Even being a cinematographer and a camera operator are two separate jobs. So when it comes to low budget, we have to pick up multiple jobs. So I'm blessed that I could be a jack of all trades, but I should really be focusing on one thing. I've never had a chance to really focus and direct something. Only one time, and that was with the Guerrero brothers. All the other times I'm either acting in something, so I can't DP it and I have to give it to someone else to do the camera work, but I'm still directing it. Even then, I just can't show up on set and just, be an actor because I have to produce it. I gotta get people on board. I have to do the call sheet. I gotta worry about food. So there's so many things. Like I'm craft services. When I get my vehicle, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be the PA driving people around. Like so it's like there's so many things and so many steps that I have to do that is like it's not even fair because it's a whole different position, if you will. And so it's like you can't do this alone. Everyone has to be in this together for it to work. So when one person falls behind, we all fall. Divided we stand, divided we fall. We're a table. If the leg is wobbly, it's gonna fall and it's gonna break. We're a chair. We need all four legs for support. As my mother would say, no man is an island to himself, meaning that we're all living in this world and we're interacting with people, talking with people. So we need friends, we need people that are going to support us and give us the encouragement that we need. And sometimes it does feel like I'm in it alone because, like I said, I do everything by myself. And sometimes when people fall by the wayside, it makes me feel like, damn, maybe this is not the way. Makes me feel that maybe, like, I'm doing it wrong. That is not working out for what it needs to be. I am a resource. I have what most people need when they're in the beginning of their film career, right? The three things that I promise is travel reimbursement, footage, IMDb credits, right? And food as well. So that's four. People take that and they run with it for a mile. Work on a project, get their IMDb credit. Okay, see you, thank you, next. But people don't realize that you need to build long-lasting relationships. So you leave this impression that you're just a user. It's going to travel up the line that you're a user. You can't be mad because I tell people I am a resource and use me, but they use me in the wrong way. So maybe that's why I keep getting used because I'm not learning on whether to cut them off or how to adjust to that. You gotta find a way to make it better. So it's gonna be a process for me. I know when it's the next stages of where I need to be, it's gonna work out for what it needs to be. All I have to do is just keep it going, keep it moving. Cause it sucks, man. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that when people use you to get from one project to the next project, that it doesn't hurt, that it doesn't sting, that it doesn't feel like damn, I'm just a piece of meat. When people change you like damn, like I'm just underwear, or I'm socks, right? You use me and then you're changing, it. Hopefully you're changing it, But let's keep that analogy that I'm socks, you wear me, you use me, and then you use another pair. You're jumping onto another project or another person that you can ride to success. But like I said, because we all leave an impression on somebody. When somebody comes around to me and asks me, "Oh, how was so and so?" I'm in my right to say this person was X, Y, and Z based on what you've shown me, based on the interaction that we had. So it's not bashing you, it's not belittling you, it's not trying to defam you. It's to tell the truth that, hey, this person is great, but they do X, Y, and Z, so be aware of that. So you gotta be very careful how you treat people. Yeah, you may not need me now, but 3 years from now, you gonna spin the block. You're gonna say, "Hey, Joshua, how you doing? I hope you're well." You didn't hope I was well at that time when you did what you did. But now, because you need something, you're gonna try to butter me up, and you're gonna try to sweet talk your way in. But I'm gonna be in a better place. I'm gonna be moving on. I'm gonna say, "Oh, hey, I'm great," and leave it like that. Whatever you need, whatever you want, you're not gonna get it from me. People say, "Oh, he's still hurt." No, I've moved on. I've learned that you suck me dry. You use me. Now you're on to somebody else. That find a better way to get ahead. That's the way you are. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful as to what you do to people. You gotta be careful. All right. This is it. Been talking for about what's it, 40 odd minutes. But there's some gems in there always. You know, I was watching a Trump interview yesterday with Andrew Schultz and the flagrants. It's like Trump likes to weave his stories. So he's rambling though. He's weaving the story. He's telling different things. And I feel like I'm a weaver as well. Like I talk about one point, but I talk about something else to bring it back to what it is. So it's all connected. Because like I said, I think. So my thoughts are sometimes they're straight and narrow. But because I didn't really have I'll say idea as to what I really wanted to talk about, I just wanted to just talk, just get for the camera and just express how I feel. That sometimes you just talk about certain things and it may lead to something, but then at the end of the day, it's just is what it is. So, in closing for real for the last time, I can't wait until I become what I need to be. As I look at all this gear that I've accumulated over the years, lenses, have 3 main camera bodies now. The first one was the Sony A99, sorry, A77 Mark II. I fucked that up, I'm tired. 2017. Now, the A99 Mark II, 2020. Alright? This camera has served me well, still works. 4K. And now we move on to... Damn, Rick. You have to fall, Rick. The A7R 5 Mark 5. 4K 60. 61 megapixels. Long, hard work. Wouldn't have gotten this if I did not continue to go to where I need to go. And the camera I'm shooting on is the Sony Ep.7 2021. I brought this in July of this year, 2024. So, 4 cameras, but 3 main camera bodies that can do video and picture. So, I'm on to great things. I'm on to becoming the best version that I can be. And quitting is not an option for me. I can't quit. Quitting is death. And I'm not dead, I'm still alive. So, I have to keep going. I have to keep trying. I gotta keep pushing myself to where I need to be. So I hope you sit long and hard and you reflect on what are your goals, your aspirations, your purpose, your mission, and who you are, and who you need to be to accomplish that. Because only time will tell as to whether or not you made the right decision in life. For not every person that you've come across, whether you were a blessing or a lesson. So let's hope that when you die, you're no longer here, that your soul was somebody that people can say, speak highly of you. Because I know that no matter what people say about me, as they may not like me because of something happened in the past or we've fall off, I've known that I've given them the best version of me at that time. I know that who I was to them was somebody that they could trust and believe in. Now, how it all ended up in the end is how it is, because emotions happen, things happen, and sometimes people get in their ego and their feelings, and it changes. But I know that I've made an influence in people's lives, and they can't forget me as much as they want to. One day you're gonna be scrolling down your timeline, and maybe a picture of me is gonna show, or a video, or a project, or whatever it is, and say, "Oh yeah, I remember that person, or I remember that project." So you want to erase it, you want to bury it, but it's still in you. It's still out there in the world. I think that's why I enjoy teaching at some point. Right now I'm working in a school, also working for the YMCA. So the kids that are in first grade, second grade, third grade, kindergarten, they love me. They run up to me, you know. I came a little late today, right? And the kids, yeah, Mr. Joshua, came up and hugged me, like three, four, five kids. So I know that I'm a positive influence in their life. Because if they hated me, they wouldn't say anything to me. They wouldn't run up to me. They wouldn't hug me. So that means that I'm doing something right. I'm leaving a positive impression on their life, that they feel safe and they feel happy and joy. And that's all I want. I want that with my stories. I want that with my projects. I want that. That what I've put out into the world is positive energy, love, care. That people are going to still think about that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 70 years from now, right? When I'm long and gone and hopefully the world is still existing, I want everything that I put out to still echo, to still be the conversation. Just like how we're still talking about Beethoven and Mozart and Michael Jackson and Prince and Marvin Gaye, right? Aaliyah. I want what I put out to still be resonating today. Still be resonating throughout the world. Say that man right there, he was something else. And he was incredible.